Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we are going to be looking at Impossible Escape by Patricio Teran. And this is a very interesting effect that personally I think is just okay. I don't think it's groundbreaking, but I still want to make a review on it because I do think some people are going to be interested in it and interested in knowing a bit more about it. So that's why I'm going to be making the review on it. So it's also going to be a shorter review, so let's jump directly into the intro. Perfect, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about Impossible Escape. So what is Impossible Escape? Impossible Escape is essentially kind of a puzzle slash magic trick where two cards get interlocked with a pin, and under impossible conditions, they just separate. So I'm going to do the performance for you, but I'm not going to do the full thing, because usually you do it once and then you do it twice and the spectator does the second phase. But since both phases are the exact same, except the first one you do it and the second one the spectator does it, there's no point in me doing both. So I'll just do the first one. So you have these cards, you have them inspected, you give them to the spectator, you have this pin inspected as well, and you tell them that what you're going to do is you're going to lock this up, you're going to lock this prisoner up inside of the cards, and they can clearly see he goes straight through. You then have them inspect the pin, and you tell them, perfect, so you've inspected the pin as well, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to place it inside and just lock it in just like that. And what you can do is you can have the spectator pull, and he can see that it is very much stuck in there. They can pull as hard as they want, and then you tell them, perfect, so now all you have to do, look, is if you hold it and you snap your fingers and give it a wave, you can just take it and fully remove the card from inside, just like that. And you can see that the pin was fully inside of the card, locking everything in place. And then you would just remove it, and you would go on to perform it again, but this time the spectator would remove the card. So that's essentially Impossible Escape. Quick performance there of it. So having said that, where do you buy this? How much does it cost? And what do you get? So you can pretty much buy this at Penguin Magic or pretty much any Penguin Magic retailer. I got mine from All Things Magic, but I do know that there are a bunch of other shops that have this in stock as well. But if you want it for sure, go ahead and get it from Penguin. This will cost you $19.99, which is around 24-25 Canadian dollars. And what you get is this bag. Inside of this bag, you get an instructional video with Kashawn Wallace, and he basically goes over the effect. There's live performances of it, there's the trailer in it, and he explains to you everything you need to know in like 16 minutes. Technically even less, because the trailer and the live performances cover up like 5 minutes of the 16-minute tutorial. So basically in 10-ish minutes, you're gonna get to learn this. To be honest, it didn't need more. It's pretty much all that it needs to. And then inside you get two sets of these cards. So you get one, and then inside of here I get another one. And these are, I believe these are plastic cards. They feel like plastic cards, but they also kind of don't. I don't know, it's weird. Like normally some other plastic cards feel a bit different. These feel like plastic, but like a thicker plastic, like cardboardy plastic. But they are plastic, and they are gonna last a bit. But even though I didn't perform this effect much, you can already see that like the circle inside where I keep putting the pin is starting to wear down a bit. It's not an issue at all, but it is something that's worth noting. So it's nice that since these are gonna get run down, or maybe you're gonna lose some of them or anything like that, you have a spare set. And then you get included these pins, which I honestly don't know where they found them, because these are some of the worst pins I've ever used in my entire life. They're basically useless, and I know that was a major complaint in Penguin. Like if you go in the reviews, pretty much 90% of the reviews say like, what is up with these pins? These are literally useless. So if you buy this effect, you're gonna have to buy extra pins, because as you see, I performed it once now for the camera, and this pin is basically fully contorted, and I have to like refix it. And then if you fix it after 1 or 2 performances, it just snaps in half and it goes into garbage. But you do get like 5 or 6 of these, but I'm just left with 2 right now, because I've basically burned through all of my pins, and my dog came here for a small visit. But Nonetheless, that is what you get with your package. So let's talk about difficulty. So how difficult is this to perform? This is very much easy to perform. It's going to take you maybe 2 or 3 minutes to learn how to do the effect. And after that, you're good to go. There's nothing difficult here regarding the effect. It's super simple. So yeah, it's relatively easy. There's one move in the entire routine. It's not even much of a sleight. It's just something that happens kind of naturally because of how everything works. And then you're good to go. It's super easy. Sorry for the weird cut. My dog started to like pull on the tablecloth. So yeah, we're gonna continue on for practicality. So how practical is this in terms of packing? So you will have to carry on these 2 cards with the pin, so you can just place the cards just like this and just put the pin like this, and you just put this in your wallet. So you just plug it in your wallet and you're good to go. So it's very pack flat in terms of that. In terms of angles, it's pretty much 360, just no one can be technically under you while you perform it. So 360, but just no one under you. In terms of inspection, can be fully inspected before and after every phase can be inspected. There's no issue regarding that whatsoever. And in terms of reset, also pretty much instant reset. It resets every time. So the moment you pull the card out from the pin, it's reset. So you're resetting the trick during the routine. So it's pretty much instant reset as well. So in terms of practicality, it's a very practical little effect. So now let's talk about where you perform. So where would you perform Impossible Escape? You would perform Impossible Escape basically in, I think, like close-up kind of scenarios. I would never do this on stage, parlor, cabaret, or corporate or anything like that. But I do think that this is a fun little effect to maybe have and do like a small puzzle or a small like icebreaker in certain discussions, or be like, you know, if someone asks you, oh, what do you do? And you say, oh, I'm a magician. And they say, oh, cool, can you show us something? So I say, you know, before I show you something, can I show you like a small puzzle to explain the difference between like magic and something impossible, or whatever that you want to find some pattern. You could maybe use this like as a bridge between kind of like a puzzle and something that can maybe be explained to something more magical that is harder to explain and more impossible. So you can use this as kind of that in a close-up scenario, because this is built for close-up. This is not built for virtual stage or anything like that. It's built on like, oh, can you show me something, or let me show you a cool puzzle or a cool game, right? That's where this excels. So having said that, let's talk about positives and negatives of Impossible Escape. So what are the negatives of Impossible Escape? 1, the pins that you get with this are absolutely atrocious. You're gonna have to buy some new ones. And yes, the ones that you get here are a bit altered to make a bit things easier, but I don't think that if you were to buy normal pins, you'll get anything harder than that. But yes, the pins are very bad. Second of all, I think that a second negative is that the effect, I feel, plays more as a puzzle game rather than a magical effect. And I think that's you kind of get that from the trailer as well. You know, it's hard to make this magical because of also the props. For example, something like Metal Phone by Joao Miranda, I said that even though it is more of a puzzle, it's magical because of the props. Because when you unveil that phone, it has, you know, the unveiling of the phone is the magic moment, and then being able to inspect the phone and check it fully is where the magic lies. Whereas here it's like just 2 pieces of like plastic colored cards with a like Dollarama or like dollar store pin. So it doesn't have that really magical thing, and like when it goes out, it is cool, but it's more cool as like a puzzle rather than a magical effect. But that's just my opinion. However, in terms of positive, what are the positives of this? 1, it's easy to do. You get 2 sets of cards. The explanations are really good. The cards are going to last you a very long time. It's easy to do. It's interactive. You can put a nice story on it. It's a nice like quick thing that you can do as an icebreaker, as a lead-in into another conversation, or as a conversation starter as well. You know, you can tell someone, oh, have you ever heard of like Houdini and him escaping from stuff like that? Do you find that interesting? And you tell them, oh, let me show you something similar to that, right? So it's a nice little conversation starter, but to me, that's pretty much it. So having said that, would I recommend Impossible Escape? and what would I rate it out of 10. So would I recommend it? I think that if you liked what you saw here, you liked what you saw in the trailer, and you liked what you saw in a bunch of other reviews of this online, I think that you won't be disappointed and you'll enjoy it. However, if you tell me, hey Sebastian, I have like 5 Penguin Magic products now in my cart that are all worth $20, would you still tell me to buy Impossible Escape over all of them? Probably not. I'll probably recommend you something else instead of Impossible Escape. Even though it's good, I do think that, at least for my personality and the way that I perform, I don't see myself using it as much, because to me it's more of a puzzle rather than a magical moment. And if I were to, for example, do something impromptu, something quick, or something, more interesting, I'd rather do maybe something like Metal Phone if it's similar to this, or something like Hollywood if it's similar to this, right? I think that it's fun, but I think there's better out there. Even if the alternatives are more expensive and there's more to carry around, I just don't see myself using it personally that much. But I do think that if you found it cool, it is worth your money. So what would I rate it out of 10? Even though it's a good product and I think it works, it does what it's supposed to do, it's exactly what it says on the ad copy, and you get exactly what you paid for. I think that now that I have it in my hands, I don't see myself seeing some of the reactions that I got from it. I don't see myself using it as much. So I'm gonna be rating it 6.5 out of 10. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Impossible Escape. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I see you all in my next video. Have a great one, and